A very warm day outside by Minnesota standards, but then again, it is still summer. Either way, the AC is working just fine at U.S. Bank Stadium in the Twin Cities. Today, we've got a Week 13 matchup for you here between the Los Angeles Chargers and the Minnesota Vikings. The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. And they're going to mark that where it went out of bounds, so really good starting field position up past the 40-yard line. Now Jackson on first down. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Brandon, watching their tape from last week, I saw plenty of plays like we just saw there, forcing incompletions. It was key in their win last week. They're hoping the same thing happens this time out, too.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. Here's Jackson. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. He's got room at the 30. A big play there for Minnesota. 51 yards.
I tell you, for a defender, that's got to be a scary sight, seeing a big man like this with a head of steam behind him as he makes that catch and then turns upfield.
And this is something this defense is going to have to account for as this game goes on. He's a space player. They want to get him out in the open field and let him make his move. So if you're going to stick with him, you've got to make sure you plaster him, as they like to say on the defensive side of the ball. Otherwise, he'll burn you as he just did there.
And you can see the distance.
Touchdown!
Rashad Bateman.
His 3rd touchdown now on the year.
And the Vikings need just 3 plays to go down and take the early lead.
Well, these guys scored touchdown after touchdown in that win a week ago. So how do they come out this week? Same way. They've got that momentum going, a touchdown on the opening drive.
I think it's safe to say that they're in a groove, isn't it? I mean, a lot of times we've seen where teams have scored a ton of points the week before. The very next week struggle to score almost as if they used it all up. Not in this case. This group appears locked in.
We're going to have to make some adjustments if you're on the other side of that football.
Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. Herbert and the Chargers now with a 1st and 10
at their 25-yard line. They started on the ground with Eckler. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
This defense for the Vikings, they were excellent in that win over the 49ers last week.
And I'm eager to see the game plan and trying to attack them this week, because when you take it away 4 times through interceptions, what do you do now when you go into a game? Do you decide you can't throw the ball? Do you try and run it more? Or do you tell your quarterback, make sure you see your guys open before you deliver?
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. Charles, already trailing by touchdown early. This offense, how imperative is it for them to get points out of this drive?
Well, they feel like they have to go ahead and match because of what was already on the board against their defense. But I think even more so, you just want to avoid 3 and outs. You want to be able to stay on the field for a little while, let your defense catch their breath a little bit, even if you don't score any points.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Herbert. It's complete to Cook. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A big play there as they get the conversion on 3rd and 13.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
Herbert setting up to throw on first down. And that throw behind his man, he missed him, incomplete. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. To the air again, Herbert. His throw incomplete.
Really good coverage all over the field and took away his intended read and almost dared him to try for his guy out of the backfield. No surprise on that one. It doesn't connect.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Herbert now. Look at the sideline here. Did he get the feet in? Yes, they say that he did. Nice job tapping both of them down. The Chargers passing game rolling a bit here. They've got another first. We got to like what you're seeing from this offense here on the first drive. A nice sustained series to begin the game, and it will continue after picking up another first there.
Would you say the word methodical comes to mind? I love the execution. I love what they're doing on this drive. They're controlling the ball, controlling the game, controlling the clock.
Running on first down, Eckler. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Nice job there defensively to clamp down because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well.
And this is caught. Touchdown, Chargers. DK Metcalf, 35 yards. And the Chargers respond to that opening drive touchdown with one of their own. They said that they wanted to get him involved early, and what a way to cap their opening drive, Charles. We know he's one of the fastest receivers in the NFL, and he showcased it on that play.
And when you have a guy like that, you want to make sure the defense sees him early, right? You want to see how they're going to adjust, how they're going to try and guard him, because they can't replicate his speed in practice unless they've got one of the few guys who are as fast as he is. And all it took was one drive. He burned them, and I don't think it's the last time they call his number in this one.
Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Well, partner, fast forward with me for a second. Remember, next week they have the open week, so they're going to get some extended rest. Does that change how they manage the rest of this one?
I think it does a little bit.
That's for Bateman, and it's intercepted. Derwin James with a pick. And the Chargers are going to take possession of the football.
Well, if you go by the numbers, you'll find as the temperature goes down, so does the passing efficiency. And now that we're in December, even the routine throws are going to be harder for the quarterbacks. And this one, it winds up getting picked off.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. A name
name Viking fans know well. It's the brother of Dalvin, James Cook.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
Hey, check that. Street.
On 2nd and 9, Willis. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Well, for last week's performance, which was so good, he was named NFC Defensive Player of the Week. He got a lot of praise, and understandably so, from national media. Looking pretty good on that play, too.
And I love what he told us this week before the game. He talked about how much time they spend working on pass rush moves, every position, because anyone could go after the quarterback in their defense, and you can see how they've all absorbed their lessons.
An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on 3rd down. Here's Herbert. Got a man, it's Ross, complete. And they move this all the way down to the 9. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Already over 1,000 yards receiving this season. That catch is just going to add to his total. Certainly not resting on his laurels. He's trying to continue to gain as many yards as possible and continue this big season.
They'll run with Cook. He pushes forward from maybe 3 down to the 6-yard line.
That's good power football on 1st and goal. A lot of teams will throw from there, but that's a nice job to chew up a few more yards and get yourself closer to the goal line.
The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. Herbert will give this one to Eckler. And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is a time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. Justin Herbert looking to pass. Feeling the pressure here and taken down. A sack back at the 7.
A nightmare on 3rd and goal. He's sacked, and multiple players broke through the line to get him.
Matt Gay now gets ready for the field goal try. This just a 24-yard attempt. Gay's kick is good.
So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
10-7 our score after 1 right here on EA Sports. An extra cornerback now in the game for the Chargers here on third. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter.
Not an easy spot here. They'll be in search of 13 yards to try to pick up the first.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's going to loft one deep over the middle.
Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted.
Derwin James with a pick.
And the Chargers are going to take possession of the football.
And I think this is a situation where quarterback coach on the sideline is going to talk to a signal caller and say, listen, it's 3rd and long and it's still early in the game. Let's not force things here. If we don't feel good about it, let's just check something down and punt the football.
Up the middle with Eckler. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
Nice chunky yards on 1st down. It really opens up your options for what you want to do on 2nd. You can go right back to him and hope he explodes, or sucker the defense in before throwing over the top.
Eckler going to get it again on 2nd down.
Able to push forward for about 4 down to the 37. Good job there keeping him to a short gain. Of course, he's coming off a really terrific performance, reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week.
And I know people get caught up in, well, if you're the reigning Defensive Player of the Week, you must have made a bunch of spectacular plays. Like you mixed in a few of those, but most of the plays are just like we saw there. Keep them to short gains, make the fundamental tackle.
Third and 2, Herbert. He rifles one that's intercepted.
Picked off by Chandon Sullivan. And the Vikings are going to have the football here at their own 35-yard line. So consecutive interceptions here early on in this one, and maybe setting the tone, Charles, for a game where the defense really takes center stage.
And don't you think that both offenses are really catching the bit from their coaching staff about avoiding these turnovers that we've seen early? I think both teams are trying to find an advantage. We know that. Can one of them break away and take control of this game?
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Yeah, another negative play in an early down situation. This one to start the drive. You're putting a lot of pressure on your quarterback to bail you out when you're in 2nd and long yardage.
This time, Jackson will throw it. Had his hands on it, but dropped it. The rookie making a little bit of a rookie mistake, 3rd down. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those 2 elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
Here's Jackson on 3rd and long. He's going to float this over the middle, deep.
Oh, for the 3rd time, Jackson going to be intercepted.
Picked up by Minkah Fitzpatrick.
And the Chargers are going to have the football here at their own 18-yard line. A nightmare of a first half for him. That's now 3 interceptions. But Charles, with his talent, if anyone can shake this off and right the ship, it's him.
I agree, because you don't get to be one of the best quarterbacks in the league without developing some major mental toughness. So I expect him to go to the locker room at halftime, hit the reset button, and come out a new guy in half number 2.
And some space here. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. 1st down.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the 2nd level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. They'll try the middle with Cook. And some room to maneuver. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. That good for 22 and a first down.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get them. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the first down on that run. Don't just ask for them. Show them that you're supposed to get the football.
They run again on first down. Cook. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here, because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. Williams brings it in. Touchdown, L.A. Mike Williams, 39 yards. And they are able to add on to their advantage.
For a big tight end, he can sure move like a slot receiver when he gets a head of steam going. And as a defensive back, you've got a big decision to make when he's moving like that.
Extra point by Gay is up and good. And his guys will take a 10-point lead.
Vikings 7. Matt Gay set to kick
Following the touchdown, here's Gay to kick it away. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback.
10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And they have the game here followed by the open date on their calendar next weekend. And Charles, this is a crew that you have. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And picked up by the Chargers. And he takes it back to the house. It's a fumble recovery and a Charger touchdown. Here's Gay now to add the extra point. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17.
The score, Chargers 24, Vikings 7. Matt Gay set.
So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And this will be returned from deep in the end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Cost him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Now, they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete.
Well, this defense is certainly organized and playing off of each other because the rush is providing pressure and the coverage is forcing incompletions and capitalizing on mistakes. When you get every level on defense hitting at once, you get first half scores just like this one.
On 3rd down, Jackson. That's complete to Justin Jefferson. And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Hey, report.
To throw again is Jackson. Another one on this play for Justin Jefferson.
And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule.
And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down. They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down. Now it's Jackson.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Derwin James with a pick. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 and a Charger TD. So this defense doubling its pleasure there. Remember, they had the fumble return for a score earlier in the game, and now this time an interception return for another score. Extra point by Gay is up and good. And the route is on here in this first half.
Vikings 7. Matt Gay set to kick off.
After the touchdown, it's Gay to kick this one away.
And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one.
At their own 18-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half.
At the 27-yard line.
And this time they'll just keep this on the ground. And he'll just keep 2 hands on the football as he'll be taken down after a short pickup. Only a yard on the pickup, so from a good situation on 2nd and 2, it's now 3rd and 1. Now a timeout. 7 seconds left in the first half. And I see an extra defensive back on the field. Little surprise here on 3rd and 1.
You change it.
Jackson from the shotgun. Chargers able to get the pressure and bring him down. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. So the Chargers will start the second half with the lead and the football as we're underway in the 3rd quarter. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Charger drive about to get going. Here's Eckler to begin the drive. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Once more, here's Eckler. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now third down coming up.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it's just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But looks like they're ready to go.
Going to throw on third down with Herbert. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Williams. And he is going to have the Chargers first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
Eckler now between the tackles. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. On the give, this is Eckler. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
1st and 10, Willis.
Yeah, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A nice job there on the escape and scramble. A first down, a 16-yard gain.
No surprise to see him running again here. It's something he's done throughout this season. And that run puts him over 500 yards on the ground for the year. He's got to be thinking to himself, if I'm already at 500, what's to stop me from going for 1,000?
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. On 2nd down, Eckler. And he'll get about 3 as he's brought down to the 28.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. So 3rd and inches, and this will be the 9th play of the drive. They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. And this is caught. He's got it. Touchdown, L.A. DK Metcalf. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Chargers will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the 3rd. And oh, it's blocked. Taking it right down Broadway. He's at the 40. Past the 20. And he takes it the distance across the goal line for 2 points. Well, I think there was a lot of surprise from the kicking team there. After the block, they kind of froze and then realized, oh, wait, they can return this, and they returned it all the way.
And you know why they froze? Not often do you get that second sound, right? There's the kick, you hear that, and then there's that second thud when there's a block. That's when people freeze and they have to realize where the ball is. They picked it up and took it the other way.
And this is going to be returned from middle of the end zone.
And not a good return here at all as they'll be forced to start at the 12-yard line.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
Well, CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. With that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
3 quarters have come and gone. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. So from Charger territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line. Jackson. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Justin Jefferson, 32 yards. And the Vikings get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this 4th quarter deficit. Joseph connects on the extra point, and that'll cut the lead back down to 21. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. The Charger drive about to get going. And they've got to be feeling very comfortable and confident here with this lead in the football here in the 4th quarter, Charles. And I don't think that they need to score again, but it seems like this offense is just getting better as the game goes on. They've scored on their last 2 drives.
It certainly feels like a chance for them to continue to have some fun out there, doesn't it? Game's already decided, as you noted. So they can continue to play loose, break out some other concepts, maybe run a few trick plays, get other people involved. Heck, even go deep on one of these first snaps just because they can.
Steps away. And this will be well too low for him to bring in. It's incomplete. Well, 4th quarter with a 3-score lead here, Charles, but they're still going back to the air and looking for more points.
Well, with this game well in hand, it's an opportunity for the guys to come off the bench and get a chance to play. And a lot of coaches, they want to run their full playbook no matter who's on the field.
Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. Try to get it to Williams, but it's intercepted. Picked by the linebacker, Brian Asamoah. And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football. Well, that interception at least offers them a glimmer of hope here in the 4th quarter.
Well, it certainly does if their offense goes out now and makes it pay off by getting into the end zone. And if it does, then they get a chance to get back out on the field and try and do it again. Maybe they can force that offense into more and more mistakes and give them a chance to get back into this one totally.
Yeah, still a 3-score hill to climb. We'll see if they can do it. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up 2nd and 5 at the Chargers' 24-yard line.
Report!
On 2nd down, a run with Dobbins. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it with an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first. So a decent deficit at this stage in the second half. 4-down territory?
No doubt about it. There's not a chance that he hasn't looked ahead and said, okay, if we gain yardage on this play, this is what we'll...
And he'll get in. He's over for the touchdown. Lamar Jackson scoring on the sneak from a yard out. And the Vikings have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. Joseph connects on the extra point. And the lead will be cut down to 14.
Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. Taking it about the 1. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Charger drive about to get going. Well, don't look now, but they've got a little bit of a battle on their hands again. Back to a 2-score game. The interception that led to a touchdown. You'd have to think they're a little more careful here if they do indeed try to throw the football.
Yeah, and I was a little surprised by the last throw. You know, that type of throw with this type of a game, I'm going to be very careful about it. Maybe the only throw you make is maybe a toss to your halfback or something like that. Otherwise, take care of the thing and finish this bad boy off.
The handoff, it's Eckler. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first time out. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning.
35-yard line.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Slot man moves right. It's Eckler again. And strong running there as he's across midfield and down to the 49. He was trying to clear the way, the big fullback. Instead, he gets a hold.
And you don't see that very often on running plays from those guys because usually they're the lead blocker. Normally, when he gets caught, it's in a passing situation.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. The slot man in motion right. And they'll send the slot in motion left. Here is Eckler. And he'll get 2, maybe 3 up near the 37. And now this defense trying to use the clock to their advantage. They'll take the timeout here with 2:08 left. And then they'll have another stop coming up at the 2-minute warning. The Chargers on 3rd down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. Back to throw here, Herbert. He finds Ross, right side, it's complete. And oh, he's just going to be short here, barely. Maybe by a half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches. So it's Charger football as we welcome you back from the 2-minute warning. They've got a 4th down here in a game that looks to have been decided already. Going to keep it on the sneak. And this will depend on the mark. I'm not sure he pushed the line forward. And indeed, he did not. They stop him. He needed a yard. He didn't get anything. And the Vikings, they have the football now in excellent field position. Meanwhile, in Foxborough, they're in the 4th quarter. And you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. If they can hold on, the win would be number 8 for them on the campaign. On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. And he's going to be out of bounds down around the 35-yard line. A nice run there, 9 yards.
And it'll be second down.
First play of the drive. Let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard.
Jackson to throw.
Flushed out right. And this is intercepted. And that should do it.
Picked by Kenneth Murray. And the Chargers will have solid field position here as they take over at their 45-yard line.
I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his 2nd interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ball game, I would have said never, not in a million years. But here we go. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. They're going to pass here with Herbert. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down.
Multiple defenders getting to him there for a huge loss.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
Though certainly in a pickle here. They have a mile to go to try to pick up the first. We'll see what they've drawn up. So a little tardy getting everyone set, and the clock hits 0 before they could snap it.
Yeah, you can take your time and use the clock and try and get set up, but once it gets near 5 seconds, that's when you often hear a quarterback yelling, hurry, hurry, to make sure everybody's ready to get the snap off.
After the delay, they're backed up even further for 3rd and long. Play action this time for Justin Herbert. Going deep downfield for Ross.
And Herbert, his 3rd interception. Andrew Booth picks it off. And the Vikings are going to take over at their own 30-yard line.
Well, in all likelihood, this ball game's still over. I mean, even with the interception, 2-score game, they need a miracle.
Curious decision to even throw the ball in that situation, but maybe they saw a stacked line of scrimmage and said, hey, it's better to try and throw than to try and run against it. In any event, I think you're exactly right. Now, the other team can pad their stats, but I don't think they're going to win.
Yeah, but still, don't change the channel just yet. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down.
Now Jackson.
Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this is caught for a touchdown. So hang on now. Things just got a little bit more interesting here in the final minute.
No, we're not cheering. No, we're not rooting. But I am excited about this. I know you are too. We got a ball game again after that big-time strike.
Big-time strike, and you are right. Don't go anywhere yet. This thing's not done. Joseph now to have the PAT. And that'll cut the lead down now to a touchdown. So 20 seconds remain. It'll come down to this. And this is going to be taken in by the Chargers, and it appears they're going to win this football game. So erase the flag. They decline it.
And did they use the big eraser, or was that the one at the end of the number 2 pencil?
Well, I was thinking the 2x2-inch ones that you can buy and use in addition to the pencil.
And those last forever.
A long time.
No doubt.
Now they try the right side here. And he's got it to about the 40. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he's got some space here. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. A couple more minutes, and maybe the outcome of this one, Charles, would have been different. But ultimately, time runs out on the comeback, so it falls short. And they hold on to win this by just one possession.
Not the fourth quarter they wanted, but they did earn the win, and they'll be happy about that, and they should be. Now they're going to go back to practice, see what they can do to prevent a future lead from slipping away like this one was.
So for the Chargers, they continue to be one of the best teams around as they move to 10-2. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Buffalo to take on the Bills. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, it's another week with more questions than answers as they fall to 3-9. And they'll get the extra week to think about this one as they return to action in 2 weeks' time.